UC lead counselor at Olathe South.
I'm Officer Yeagers, the police officer here at Olathe South.
I'm Becky Ball. I'm the nurse at South.
Matt Johnson, Assistant Principal Athletic Director, Olathe South.
I think because it's so new on the scene that there's a lot of unknown information out there. But what we do know at this point is that it causes breathing issues. Students and people who use can develop coughs, asthma, and different chemicals can get inside of their lungs and create even long-lasting carcinogenic type of issues.
Yes.
Yes. When someone vapes, there are chemicals that are in that vaping liquid. Some of the chemicals, I think that kids would be surprised to know that formaldehyde is one of the components, as well as acetone. That's the compound that's in fingernail polish remover. Even antifreeze. There's propylene glycol is a compound that's also found in the vaping liquid that students use in e-cigarettes. Not to mention there's some metals in there, I believe nickel and lead, and other cancer-causing agents. And all of that is taken in by the individual who is vaping, as well as out there in the secondhand smoke as well.
I think it's the way it's marketed. The way a lot of this stuff is marketed with the different fruit flavored juices that you can put in. The devices look like USB ports. The vaping since 2013 has gone up 600%. There's more vapes that are being sold every day than there are packs of cigarettes.
A lot of it is being presented as this is so much healthier for you, and it's different for you, but it's not healthier.
Nicotine is in the vaping materials that students are using for e-cigs. Nicotine, as we know, is addictive, but it also causes long-lasting effects on the body. And what I had heard is that one jewel cartridge has the amount of nicotine in it that a pack of cigarettes or 21, 22 cigarettes has. And that's an awful lot of nicotine.
The devices are really cool looking. They're sleek, they're easy to hide, they're easy to use in confined spaces. I think kids like the excitement of using them. It's just completely different than a cigarette, which causes a widespread odor and obviously has a lot of smoke. The vapes are easier to be very conspicuous, and I think there's just an excitement with it. But it comes with a lot of consequences that I think your typical teenager doesn't really think about, because you're at that age in your life where you really feel pretty much invincible. Pretty much anywhere. We have found the bathrooms to be the most popular locations, but there are kids that vape in the classrooms while teachers are teaching or while substitute teachers are here. Pretty much any space that they can find a place where that they can utilize access to the device, kids are pretty much going all in. Right now we've gotten a lot more aggressive with our consequences and accountability measures with regards to the use of really any tobacco products. It starts now with a 3-day suspension. However, during that suspension, a student may have the opportunity to enroll in an online class called Aspire. If they complete that course and print out the certification, they may come back to school the next day with that certification. It's an online class that teaches a lot about vaping and the harmful effects, and kind of maybe enlightens them to some of the information that they don't already know. The student can also elect to not do that class, but they will be out for 3 days.
I heard it was a 4-hour online class.
Yeah, it's about a 4-hour class, yeah.
You're going to get a ticket from me at the mandatory court date. In the past, you used to be able to pay the $25 and be on your merry way, but there's so many high school students, middle school students that are using these vapes that the courts have a mandatory court date. You and your parents or parent have to go to, or guardian, have to go to the courthouse, the city courthouse, and altogether it's going to run you about $65, $70.
There's always peer pressure. This isn't new. Peer pressure's been around for a long time, and I I think it's a constant battle for these kids.
Right.
They want to make friends. They want to seem cool. They like the thrill of taking a risk. But there are short-term effects that could, really change their lives. And there's also long-term effects that could change their lives. And I guess, is it really worth it?
You think what you're doing is just trying to have fun, but it would be so nice if some of you kids who would be real leaders in this generation to help turn this around. Because I am very worried about not just your generation and how it's affecting you, but what difference is it going to make in the next generation of children